Greetings, YouTube. This is Rhett with Rolling Forward. And today I'm going to talk about one of the three big killers that I noted 2 videos ago. And in the last video, I spoke about one of them, pneumonia. That is the 3 big killers of people with spinal cord injuries, and particularly quadriplegics. So we spoke about pneumonia last. This one today is going to be about pressure sores. And yes, they can kill you. The last video was about pneumonia. This one, pressure sores. The next one is going to be urinary tract infections. So, pressure sores. If you are paralyzed due to a spinal cord injury, you should already have a lot of knowledge about pressure sores, about what causes them, about what you can do to prevent them to the extent possible, and what to do to treat them, to get them to heal, to close. If you do not know very much about pressure sores, and if you are paralyzed, you should stop watching this video, go to Google, and just do a search for pressure sores, and there will be more information and more photographs than you want. Look at those photographs. Imagine what that means to that person. Many of the photographs are stomach-turning, harbingers of death. Massive sores as deep as a bone, with bone clearly showing. People, you don't want to go there. So, you are 100% responsible for pressure sores. So, if you have a pressure sore, it was probably your problem. And skip the probably, it was your fault. Now, in the real world, there are times when perhaps when you got into your wheelchair in the morning, there was a large wrinkle in your pants of which you were unaware. You did things similarly to the way you got up the day before and the day before. For some reason, there's a large wrinkle of pant under your pressure points of your butt. You go to bed in the evening or later in the day, depending upon how long you typically sit in your wheelchair, and there's a red spot. Well, or a pressure sore. But typically, one day, unless it's really weird, you would have a red spot which will turn into a sore overnight or the next day. Red spot is indicating there is already damage to the skin and to the underlying tissue. You should be doing skin inspections twice a day, pretty much. When you lie down after being in your chair, your attendant, your caregiver, should give a routine inspection of all bony prominences. What's a bony prominence? Well, your sit bones, the points of your butt, your elbows, your heels, your knees, even the back of your head. I have seen personally someone in Rancho, after they got out of traction, they had a pressure sore right in the middle of the back of their head. Now, it wasn't a particularly horrible one, but it was enough that it had a bald spot and a sore about the size of a nickel, with a kind of a thick and ugly scab in the middle. And what's kind of weird, it looked like an eyeball in the middle of the back of his head. But that location, you can more easily arrange a way to remove the pressure. If you lie down after being in your chair, there's a red spot that does not fade away within a few hours, stay off of it. If you have a pressure sore, you have to remove the pressure. If the pressure sore is on your butt, you have to stay off your butt. That's it. That's it. It's very simple, but it is a arduous journey to keep yourself in bed for days or weeks at a time. Man, of course you want to get up, you want to go outside, you want to live your life as you have been. You cannot do that. You have to get off of it. You have to remove the pressure. Remove the pressure. That's it. Same with any location. If it's on your heel, you have to learn how to arrange pillows so that that spot receives no pressure. That's the deal. No pressure. No pressure, not for a little while? No, none. Pressure sores can quickly grow, and they heal very slowly. They can become large enough to be life-threatening. They can become infected. It's an awful thing. What happens is, when you sit, which is a common one, the bony prominences of your butt are are pushing on the skin, which is between the bone and your wheelchair seat cushion. So it's the point of highest pressure. That pressure will stop the capillaries and the blood vessels from being able to feed the skin that is being pinched between a bone on the inside and a seat cushion on the outside. Same thing for your elbows, your heels, your ankles, the back of your head, whatever. It's pressure between a bony point and the seat cushion or bed, or maybe some part of your wheelchair that you change somewhat your seating position over time, and maybe the side of your knee begins to press upon a part of the wheelchair frame. And as with myself, and I think you just saw, it was somewhat quick, but the outside of my left knee has been pressing on the frame of my wheelchair. So I did get a small sore. Small, and as soon as it's noticed, which is day one, and there's a red spot that won't go away, well, the next day it was an open wound. So I have to do something to remove the pressure. Fortunately, we rigged up a long-term fix in this particular case, which was a piece of foam with a hole cut in the middle so that the foam would pad all around the sore and prevent pressure from falling upon that spot, which was the bony part of the side of my knee. So we arranged to have the pressure on the lower part of the side of my thigh, the upper part of my skinny lower leg, and it worked. And now I use it every day. Every day I'm in my wheelchair, I put that foam pad in between my knee and the side of my wheelchair frame, and it worked. Now, I don't know if it's going to work forever, because I get older every day, just like you do. My body changes a very little bit every day, just like everybody else on the planet. And sometimes those subtle changes over time will make some point become a problem that hadn't been a problem before that. You have to be sure that your caregivers are doing inspections and telling you when there is a suspicious spot. Um, in fact, when my attendants, who search every day from head to toe, literally, if there's a red spot, I take a photograph and then upload it into my computer so that I can look at it on the big screen rather than the screen of my phone or something like that. Then I look at it and I make the decision. I got to stay down tomorrow and probably the next day. But it's my decision. And I do get occasional pressure areas for sometimes from a fold in my pants, sometimes for no reason that I can determine. I'll go for a week or two or a month or two, and then, oh, there's a red spot on your butt. Got to look at it, and often means I have to stay in bed for a few days, maybe a week. I don't like it, but the pressure sore stops developing, begins healing, and then I can get back up again and just try to be careful. That's part of a spinal cord injury. And in a minute here, well, now we're going to pause and I'll be right back. And YouTube, I'm back. We just took a pause. I needed to change a page of my outline for what I'm talking about today. Although I have been speaking on enough that I've almost covered my points. Over again, you have to remove the pressure. There is no shortcut. Have conversations with your doctors. Have conversations definitely with your caregivers. You need to make sure they understand the importance of giving you information. They need to understand the devastating consequences that a pressure sore can give to your life. You need to get the information, you need to insist upon it, and there's no reason it can't be done. I've been a little bit rambling on, but this is something that is so preventable, and yet it is so prevalent among the population of spinal cord injured quadriplegics and paraplegics. A much lesser degree among paraplegics. They can do weight shifts by themselves, minute by minute. They can move themselves around. It only needs to be, an inch or two, some kind of pressure relief. Now, it so happens that my wheelchair tilts, and I think most of you should know what I'm talking about. It so happens that my switch is next to my head, and I can go further and further back until I'm just about at a 45-degree angle. This puts the weight more on my back and less, near none, on my butt, and it lets my butt circulation give all the skin the nutrition it needs. It removes the waste from those skin cells and tissue that has a reduced skin supply while there is the pressure of sitting upon it. However you perform your weight shifts, do it. Do it regularly. Do it always. Don't skip one because you're in the middle of a movie or a conversation. It has to be done. Don't skip it. Well, I feel like I'm a little bit like a overbearing parent, and that's not what I want to be, but I want to impress you with the importance of doing this. Prevention is so much better than weeks and weeks isolation of being in bed, frustration with being in bed, the scheduling difficulties of being in bed, prevent your pressure sore, then you won't have to sacrifice uh, days and weeks of your life while you allow it to heal. So I'm going to leave it at that. Please pay attention to this one. This is something you can really do. Uh, Pneumonia, well, you cannot smoke, you can drink a lot of fluids, you can exercise your lungs routinely during the day of your paralyzed life, but a pressure sore, man, it's easy to prevent. It's hard to heal. So I am going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Please do click like. Please do subscribe. I'll be back again with another video. I think the next one is going to be on UTIs. So thank you, YouTube, and ciao.